California has stepped into the world of white gold mining, looking to take the United States EV production to another level. Salton Sea's vast reserves of lithium, often referred to as white gold, are nothing short of a national treasure. A new U.S. Department of Energy report confirms that the Salton Sea holds enough of this rare mineral to power over 375 million electric vehicle batteries. You will be surprised to know that this staggering figure surpasses the total number of vehicles currently on U.S. roads. But is it just the Salton Sea, or there are other sources of white gold in the U.S. as well? And is there actually a need to mine white gold? Let's find out. It is not a hidden fact that the hot brine below the Salton Sea is rich with white gold. However, no one knew or ever estimated that how much of this precious metal is hidden under its waters. The groundbreaking report, backed by the U.S. Department of Energy, was the first of its kind study to assess the potential of the Salton Sea as a reliable source of lithium. Scientists undertaking this research have estimated that there are around 18 million metric tons of lithium carbonate present in this underground pool, which remains distinct and separate from the surface lake. This number is enough to make the Salton Sea one of the world's most significant sources of lithium. After all, it can power over 375 million electric vehicle batteries, and that too for at least a few decades. If we look at the current situation in the United States, there is currently only one operable lithium mining site located in Silver Peak, Nevada. Alongside this, Tesla has also announced to build North America's first lithium refinery in Texas, which would cost $1 billion to complete. While these initiatives mark a significant step towards domestic production, the majority of the world's lithium supply is currently sourced through the so-called Lithium Triangle, where Argentina, Chile, and Bolivia meet. Stats show that the United States has around 1 million metric tons of white gold reserves, which is far below if we compare it with Chile and Australia, which have 9.3 million and 6.2 million metric tons of reserves respectively. This is why the U.S. is heavily reliant on importing lithium from other countries. But if the Salton Sea project is successful, it could potentially reshape the global lithium market and reduce the country's dependence on imports. Now, before I go further, let me give you an overview of how white gold is mined. The extraction method involves pumping briny, lithium-rich water from underground to the surface and into vast evaporation ponds. Over an extensive period, possibly 2 years, the sun gradually evaporates the water and the brine concentration changes, creating vibrantly hued ponds. Subsequently, a mixture of lime and sodium carbonate is introduced to purify the solution. Once the brine reaches optimal lithium concentration, it is directed toward a recovery site where the lithium is further isolated. The final product undergoes additional chemical processing to become a refined metal, suitable for usage in electric vehicle batteries. Here you may think, do countries, especially the United States, actually need to invest in mining lithium? Well, the answer is yes. According to the World Bank, demand for lithium is projected to soar by as much as 500% by the year 2050. Grace Sosik, a specialist in global supply chains and sustainability at the USC Marshall School of Business, says that meeting this skyrocketing need sustainably calls for urgent action by the United States. Sosik advocates for twofold steps. Firstly, finding ways to decrease the lithium quantity needed in batteries. And secondly, looking for alternative local sources for lithium extraction. She spotlights the technology of geothermal brine lithium recovery as a promising method. This technology taps into the natural geothermal brines found in regions like the Salton Sea, extracting battery-grade lithium in a more environmentally friendly manner compared to traditional practices. It is up to the companies to find efficient, scalable methods for the extraction of lithium. The process of separating lithium from geothermal brine is considered less invasive and damaging to the environment than traditional extraction methods. Unlike the hard rock mining methods used in places like Australia, which involve intensive blasting and extraction techniques, or the enormous open-air evaporation ponds seen in South America, geothermal brine extraction uses existing natural resources in a more gentle way. If the process is carried out successfully, it could be a game changer in achieving President Joe Biden's goal of having electric vehicles make up 50% of all new vehicle sales by 2030. Jeff Marushin, Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Energy Department's Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy, emphasized this opportunity, stating, "This report confirms the once-in-a-generation opportunity to build a domestic lithium industry at home." He further said, "Using American innovation, we can lead the clean energy future, create jobs and a strong domestic supply chain, and boost our national energy security." According to the most recent reports, there are about 400 megawatts of geothermal electricity generation capacity already installed around the Salton Sea geothermal resource area, with estimations suggesting a potential upwards of 2,950 megawatts. This energy uses the natural geothermal activity of the area, which also harbors vast lithium reserves. Controlled Thermal Resources is among the 3 companies handling projects aimed at commercially extracting lithium. Rod Colwell, the CEO of Controlled Thermal Resources, has expressed confidence in the significant lithium riches of the Salton Sea. According to his statement, a recent assessment validates the considerable scale and robust nature of this resource. The findings not only align with previous estimates, but also suggest that the lithium reserves at the Salton Sea might be considerably larger than initially projected. This revelation holds promise for the future of lithium extraction in the region and could shape it as a key player in the global lithium market. Now the question is, as we see huge lithium reserves beneath the Salton Sea's surface, how do we balance the drive for clean energy with the imperative to protect the environment? A 2023 report from the Earthworks Group raises concerns about the potential for damage to the local water and air quality from mining operations, a topic that, according to their findings, lacks comprehensive research. Despite such concerns, there are environmental specialists who suggest that the mining efforts in the Salton Sea are unlikely to wreak the same kind of havoc on wildlife habitats or drain water resources as severely as mining in other regions might. However, reassurances fall short for community advocates such as Luis Olmedo of Comité Cívico del Valle. Olmedo urges for a more in-depth investigation into the possible ecological risks before celebrating these mining operations as a panacea for both the renewable energy sector and the economic revitalization of an impoverished area. An alarming fact is that the Salton Sea is currently undergoing a significant reduction in size. This diminishing body of water is revealing its seabeds, and as they dry, they become the source of airborne dust. Health experts express concern over this dust being a health hazard, particularly to children in the region. The community around the Salton Sea already faces numerous environmental and economic hardships, and the release of this particulate matter only adds to the formidable challenges they confront. So, this was all about white gold mining. It is clear that the Salton Sea holds immense potential for lithium extraction, but at what cost? As the demand for lithium continues to rise, there is a need for careful consideration of its environmental and social impacts. The United States has an opportunity to lead the way in sustainable lithium mining, setting an example for other countries to follow. But this can only be achieved if the necessary precautions are taken to ensure that the environment and communities around the Salton Sea are not adversely affected. Let me know in the comments section below, what are your thoughts on the future of lithium extraction in the Salton Sea region? Will it be a successful and sustainable venture, or will it come at a cost to the environment and local communities? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Do subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any new videos. Goodbye.